So when it comes to recording your liminal dreams, what are some things you can do there? So for me, when I'm liminal dreaming, I'm basically always on the hypnagogia side of things. If I'm ever in hypnopompia, it's really probably because I was lucid dreaming, the dream was ending, it slipped into hypnopompia, and I'm just gonna transition it back into REM to keep the dream going. In which case, when that all ends and I finally do wake up, I'll just record the dream as I normally would. Or another good idea is you can have a voice recorder on your phone and just whisper into that bitch quietly and don't wake up the wife. And we'll circle back to that approach here in a little bit. But when it comes to, hypnagogia, my main go-to method forever was simply dictating in my head what was going on, picking a few things out from there that I really wanted to try to remember, like, 3 or 4 things, maybe max, and then wake myself up out of the hypnagogia and record it. Something I'll do, like when I'm in the float tank, if I'm really trying to pull shit out of the hypnagogic space, is I'll go in there like 20, 30 minutes into hypnagogia, jump out with those 3 or 4 things I wanted to remember, try to brute force memorize that shit, slip back into hypnagogia, do it again, and then maybe by the end of the 90 minutes I might have 6, 7, 8 things that I kind of pulled from there. The problem with that though is it's very distracting and it takes a lot of work and you can't really pull that much out. So this has been a big kind of weak spot in my liminal work, and Jen has some amazing approaches in here that I just can't really get to work for me too well, but I just should practice some more, because honestly I don't practice them as much as I should. But for her hypnagogia is so robust that she'll basically be dictating what's going on like I'm doing in my head, but she can actually like whisper it and mouth it and say it, right? So she'll have like her voice recorder next to her and be like, whispering into it as she's, slipping in stage 1 of sleep and exploring the hypnagogic space. Where for me, I can kind of do it, but I just find it so distracting. Like I've never actually tried to record it. What am I saying? I'll sit there as I'm dictating it. I'll try to move my mouth and speak it, but I don't know, it just kind of bothers me, and I'll just do it my old normal kind of shady way. Another thing that Jen can do, and we've been skimming through this book trying to find where she said it in here, but I think I might have heard it in an interview, or maybe it's just later in the book because we're only in like the first 2-3 chapters. Maybe she'll bring it up later, but I couldn't find it. But I swear I remember her saying she could write. So like she would be in hypnagogia and be able to chicken scratch write out the dream that was going on, which is amazing. And after hearing that, that's kind of where I started to work in like little small motor finger movements where I can't write, but if I found that if I'm lying in bed and I'm exploring hypnagogia and I'm getting kind of sleepy, I can make these little small movements with my fingers and kind of help me stay awake and explore the space longer before totally blacking out and KOing. Anyway, those are some things you can try.